Hello y'all, this is the Naruto traits mod for Crusader King Suit, as in traits and artifacts, as well as bloodlines from the manga and anime Naruto, as well as new buildings and a retinue. We're playing in a high Middle Ages bookmark as the King of France. He has the whole William the Conqueror episode going on to his north, but we'll be trying to avoid that. Just for this mod, I've created a new dynasty and kicked the Capates off the throne. It wasn't a red cloud, but a red leaf will do. France is a great name for a kingdom, or we're going to give it a more immersive name from Naruto. The kingdom is now the village hidden in the Franks. It is now immersive 10 out of 10, and if anybody asks what the village is, it's Paris. As for the new buildings mentioned earlier, we start with a Kage mansion, a ninja academy, and a ninja house inside of a castle. Using 100 gold, we can work to get taijutsu, and we can become a taijutsu user in universe that has like kicks and punches, and it will give a buff to our combat stats. William II, the Duke of Normandy, leading the Norman invasion once Galwegian succession. He has 480% of our forces, and if he keeps beating up Harold Godwinson, that should deplenish and get him to stop leading that faction. King Frederick de Leopold is coronated by the Pope. The AI can also get these new traits as seen here. The Emperor of the Holy Roman Empire has taijutsu and has chakra, which is used for ninjutsu, basically elemental moves. We aren't able to vassalize Brittany yet, so we are instead going to extort tribute from Barcelona to the south. A bishop is slain, leading the forces of the Duke of Barcelona by Frederick de Leopold. A count has just died and his land has passed on to us, so we will give his land to the previous king we displaced when we created the custom dynasty. Harold Hardrada won England, but William II is still our vassal and he will be a threat, and he has fire release, he can expand, and has the bloodline of the Akamichi clan. We can now check to see if we have chakra or not, then try to get an element out of 1 of 5. We will get that if we use gold. Then use even more gold to become a ninjutsu user. This will all help our combat abilities. The war with Barcelona has taken a lot longer than expected, and we have lost a lot of men, and as a result of all this, a civil war has now broken out in the north part of France. The leader of the other side in the civil war has died because of his battlefield wounds, ending the civil war. In a bit of irony, a Godwinson adventurer is declaring war to take the Duchy of Normandy. Something that needs to be noted here: in the decision to become a ninjutsu user, there is a risk of you getting wounded and getting nothing along with spending the gold. It's time to search for the clan this dynasty is from, and that is the Inuzuka clan, a clan associated in Naruto and the lore, working with ninja dogs. The Inuzuka clan's special ability in game is to summon a ninja dog, giving a buff to martial combat, health, and personal combat skill, and this modifier will last for 8 years. There are tiers of ninjutsu user, and over time you can become stronger, such as here we are attempting to become a veteran ninjutsu user. Big moves across the sea. England has returned to Anglo-Saxon control, but Norway controls bits and pieces all over Britain. Frederick has become a veteran taijutsu user and a veteran ninjutsu user. With all of his other traits, it comes out to 35 martial stat. Let's see how the clans our dukes have, if they have any. William II of Normandy, he has Akamichi, he can expand. The Duke of Anjou has Uchiha, so he has eye-based abilities and affinity for fire. The Duke of Berry has none. Burgundy is Akamichi, he can expand. Aquitaine is Nera, he has shadow abilities. Toulouse doesn't have one, just taijutsu. The Duke of Picardy also doesn't have one. And the Duke of Flanders has Aberrame, thus he can use bugs. Brittany has become a kingdom, so forcefully vassalizing them is off the table. But to our south, the vulnerable Barcelona is still a Duke-level realm, so they will be taken instead. Frederick's firstborn son, Felipe, will be checked if he has chakra or not, and he does. Frederick dies at the age of 45, leaving his son, Felipe II, at the age of 13, to take over the village hidden in the Franks. An unfortunate start to the young ruler's reign. The councilor of France, the Duke of Picardy, is leading a revolt against the king. Using coin in the treasury, a shinobi retinue is created to dissuade factions from pressing their goals. Felipe II will check to see what element he has, and he has water, unlike his father, who had the earth element. One revolt ends, another one begins. As long as we can stop the armies from uniting, we should be able to win very easily. Felipe II, now of age, and the Duke of Burgundy, like his father, leading the fight against the king. He is slain in battle. The realm is plagued by an epidemic, but more importantly, it is at peace, and we are thus now ready to make tributaries out of Navarra and Braise, aka Brittany. Felipe's half-brother Palin has been taken from the village, becoming the Duke of Tuscany, and is now a vassal of the Holy Roman Empire. The soldiers of France are pledged to the Pope to aid in his crusade for Egypt. In today's episode of France's never-ending civil wars, the Duke of Toulouse wants to put someone else on the throne. The crusade starts, but with our civil war taking place, any hopes of participation are sidelined. The Catholic crusade looks like it's going very well, but sadly there is now an independence war led by the Duke of Flanders going on internally. The man in the Vatican is starting to find our lack of faith and commitment disturbing and is not very pleased we haven't arrived in Egypt yet. The French army arrives right as the crusade ends, and there is now a Breton king of Egypt. Due to our tardiness, the Pope went ahead and excommunicated us, and our only hope to fight off any sort of excommunication wars will be Navarra, since we had him as a tributary. If the war with Lotharingia wasn't enough, King Pain of Sardinia and Corsica, as he is now known due to inheritance, returns to the village to throw Felipe II off the throne. Defeating those who had come to depose him, Felipe II becomes a medical ninjutsu user. The Sunni Caliph launches a jihad on the now Catholic Egypt. The Sunni jihad for Egypt fails. We're going to get a second element for 500 gold and end the video here. If you like the mod, make sure to check it out. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe.